Market update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. Bitcoin, 35K, and then a new roadmap for the rest of the year. So roadmap has been adjusted. You may not see low 20s or even mid 20s again if MicroStrategy breaks out. Want to know more? Stick around. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live, and hit that like button. Don't forget to check out crypto_noble. Twitter will be a new content platform for video. And of course, fans can also check out on Twitter unhinged_crypto for more exciting videos. Okay, let's welcome who's here. All right, we have Brick Dreams first on the stream. Richard Barry is so bullish he can't see straight. Can't wait to hear what we're going to do. We're going to rock it. Rudy, I owe you some charts from the GLDN webinar. Don't worry, I'm going to hook you up. Right? Brick Dreams giving me some love for navigation during the bear market. Appreciate that. Okay, Raj is here. Right? K9 Crypto, Silas, Wesley, great filibuster, Reverend Flashback. Love from Germany, John, Kansas City. Nico is still buy in July and let it fly. Well, Nico, they effed me on this. They did it in June. Markets sometimes do what hoes the most people. In this case, looking for July, and I got June. But I got you a new roadmap, so don't worry. Okay? Robin is here looking for wisdom, right? Robin, gold has a 13 bottom. It's the first chart in the PowerPoint. So make sure you stick around to see that. Okay. Cyber, we are all going to make it. Carlos giving me some love. Appreciate that. Ben B from Tampa. Happy to be here. Happy to have you. All right. Going to news. This is probably the most insanely bullish news roundup that I've seen. Sometimes the media, you fade it, but you know, some of the stories that, you know, these guys are reporting, for example, Bitcoin parabolic advance means Bitcoin all-time high at the end of the year. Okay, so when we're at 22, it's going to 0, and when we're at 33, it's going to 100. I think it's more likely that, you know, based on the work that we've done, that, you know, the market is going to reset the range. So, I mean, the range was, I don't know, you know, 31 to 23. Then the market's going to reset and the range will be, you know, 36 to 28 or 35 to 31, something like that, right? Michael Saylor's average price is right here. So, you know, enormous level. And, you know, again, guys looking for major upside, and they may get it. A new wave, okay? It's amazing. You know, 1 minute crypto is dead because of Gensler. Now we're hearing $15 trillion, all right, is headed into the system. There is a ton of money out there. Okay, the only thing I don't like about this crypto rally is that Pepe is now the biggest meme coin, up 70%. Okay, so here's the good news. No one cares about bad news, right? Because big players are buying Bitcoin, and that's going to go on probably until July 4th. Then after that, you know, we'll see. I don't like speculation in Pepe. Meme coins brought in Gensler. And if this meme coin thing gets stupid again, it's going to bring in the Fed, because they're not going to tolerate massive excess speculation. They're not, all right, when inflation is above 4%. They're just not. So it's cool, party on, but if it gets out of hand in meme coins, you're going to have the next crypto correction will be because the Fed gets hawkish about risk assets. But again, we're not there now. Okay, a startup has an $87 million valuation. Crypto is not dead, no matter what Gensler says. Okay, 1.5 million in financing for a decentralized chess game. Again, not dead. The digital pound should be interoperable with crypto, says a UK lobbyist. Absolutely. I thought CBDCs were great originally because people would dump them and buy crypto. Now, I'm sure the government's not going to allow that, but if they ever did have a CBDC that was traded on an exchange, that onboards a huge number of people into crypto. Speaking of onboarding, crypto.com is now able to operate in Spain. All right. Now, this ETF thing, I think if you missed the rally, right, there were two things that happened simultaneously. Three things. BlackRock applied for some sort of Bitcoin exchange traded product. Okay. Citadel, Schwab, Fidelity, Legacy, etc., opened up a Coinbase equivalent. Okay. Opening up crypto to their customer base. And RFK Jr. He gave the speech at Bitcoin Miami. Okay. And then he got shut off and had to go to Rumble. Okay. When this guy got shut off, Monero took off. We'll show that chart. And Bitcoin was off to the races. Right. Now, I don't know if I should even say that word on the show, but I did. So here's the deal. Freedom and people's desire to get away from the deep state is real. And there is no better way to do that than to take Bitcoin, right, and tell Gensler where to go stick it. Gensler and, whoever else out there may want to shut down crypto. Now, it's kind of funny. I did a short on this. Gensler may want Bitcoin up and altcoins down. I don't think the Fed or the administration wants Bitcoin going up and embarrassing them. You have speculative assets rampaging. That's going to piss off the Fed, but that is not today's trade. And risk assets have a great way of pissing off the Fed. Once upon a time, Alan Greenspan came out and said the stock market was experiencing irrational exuberance, and it went up for 2 years. Right? One big correction off that statement and then straight up for 2 years. So when they don't want it to go up, it goes up. Sounds like a good tweet, right? JP Morgan starts Euro blockchain payments for corporations, right? So these guys get in trouble. They do bad things. They pay the fines to the government. Meanwhile, they're just getting their tentacles wrapped around crypto. Now, I know that may be distasteful to the crypto crowd, but we got to follow the price action, right? I saw this thing go up. I'm like, oh my God, they did it early. What am I going to do? Let me take a deep breath and not FOMO. And then I took a look at this teacup and handle, which we'll go into later. And then all of these big corporations piling in, they all at the same time, right? With people coming out of equities and into crypto. More on that later. Binance US has a USD withdrawal problem. Again, all the more reason with anybody trapped on Binance that they're just going to convert everything to Bitcoin and sit in it, right? Instead of trying to move dollars, they're just going to move Bitcoin, especially with Bitcoin rallying. Okay, I've been going over this over and over and over and over it. Bitcoin mining. The only way to get a truckload of Bitcoin is to buy a company that has a truckload of Bitcoin. So HUD-8, mining, big. MicroStrategy, big. MicroStrategy breaks out. I mean, I know this crypto rally looks unbelievable, but if you get a breakout from where we are in MicroStrategy, don't go anywhere to see that chart. Then things are going to get stupid. Personally, I think this is a range reset on quarter end buying. We're just saying, it's 36 to 31, something like that. Okay. So, this is the real deal. I mean, staked ETH hits a 20 million milestone. Bitcoin ETFs are all the rage. Why not Ethereum? Right? They want it. Yeah, Legacy wants it. Supreme Court in a case about customers suing Coinbase, the Supreme Court rules in favor of Coinbase sending customers into arbitration. So this is not Coinbase versus the government. This is Coinbase versus angry customers. Okay. Now, back to the roadmap. So here's what we, as in me and Toby, have been able to come up with. So I in July and let it fly, or buy in July and let it fly, happened early. So you may have a very choppy summer once they get done ramping this thing. In other words, they're just going to be like, okay, I'm going to do the whole summer rally in 2 weeks. So we'll just go up 40%. We'll just rocket it up. Then we'll find a range, and then we'll have to deal with this, right? World's empty office buildings have become a debt time bomb. Well, okay, let's talk about the media. First of all, anytime something shows up in the media, you usually fade it. Now, in this particular case, the debt time bomb is real in San Francisco and Hong Kong, but it's not real in Austin. And the Fed is going to continue to raise rates, I think, unless one of these things blows up. Because there's too many people buying, money out 5 years, waiting for some of this stuff to collapse. Yeah, not San Francisco, but other places they are. So even though this thing is out there, I don't know that stops the Fed from tightening unless the economy really falls out of bed. Okay. Like, don't think they won't do it. That is not today's trade. But if you feel like paying 36 for Bitcoin, I suggest thinking about that. Leverage Bitcoin futures ETF to start trading on Tuesday. Legacy and leverage. Retail was short QQQ. That's NASDAQ 100, triple leverage short back in February, and they got smoked. You are going to have a lot of people FOMOing into this next week, right at the end of the quarter, right? Equities retail probably buys the tactical top in Bitcoin. But again, everybody's going to buy in front of that. That looks like what's happening. Okay, Binance orders to halt crypto offering services in Belgium. I notice guys like Super Rich, and he may be a good guy or he may be a bad guy, but, look what they're doing to him and look where the market is. Treasury investors betting on the U.S. falling into a recession. So this is the extended roadmap. Now, one of two things is going to happen, and I think they're both bullish crypto. Either long-term interest rates in this country are going to go up because the Fed is going to be more hawkish and housing and whatnot are going to be more resilient, or there's going to be an event in October or September, right, where something bad happens in legacy. Could be something with the Iranians. Our work says something not with the Ukraine, despite all this stuff that's on the tape today about Article 5 and the Ukrainian nuclear plant. No, that's not it at all. Okay, but there's going to be an event in October-ish. Okay, and when that happens, we believe there will be a floor under crypto. So, you're not seeing 20K Bitcoin again. There's probably going to be a range reset, a lot of chop and volatility. May look like the bond market, may wind up looking like it. I'll show you that chart. But something's going to happen. Now, it either happens because the Fed jams rates too high. I don't know. But you're not going to get a recession without an event. You're not. Now, will you get an event? Yes. That event in October most likely is the point where crypto, goes from, oh my God, or, Gensler or whatever, all that kind of melts away, right? It's like the green shoots from spring. Whatever happens with the forest fire, crypto immediately starts growing back, and it may wind up being like 2017, where it starts in October and it ends, or it moves into some sort of gradual rally that accelerates in December. So, buy in July and let it fly. Well, they're doing that right now as we speak. And the best you can do is go with it now and then try to play the range and then hope you can grab this thing on any disturbance in the fall. Right? Because they caught everybody off guard, which is classic. Who knew that we were going to get outflanked by legacy on buying the stuff because there's problems in legacy? They actually beat me to the punch. You know what I'm saying? Like, bad bill. Central banks battle with inflation enters new phase of pain. Okay. The good news for anybody that missed the Bitcoin rally is that the Fed is going to do the additional 50 basis points unless there's some sort of catastrophic unemployment number, which the administration probably won't allow. They probably want to do the extra 50 basis points to stop the stock market. Now, that's not today's trade. Today's trade is everything is fine. The bond market is stable, right? And until the Fed really has to forcibly make the point, everything is going to be party on in crypto, particularly since money is coming out of equities and into crypto. Okay, let's see who's here. Okay, Rudy giving me some bulldozer action. Digital Bobby is here. Eurorack wants me to look at Ben. Let me write that down. Okay, Wrong Again is here, right on time. Okay, Crypto Clan, happy Friday, right? Jeff is here. You're not late. You're not early. You're right on time. Boris is here, right? Big Rich. Okay, G Money. Okay, have a good weekend, man. I appreciate that. Luis says, will ETH reach above 2K? All right, let me give you the ETH roadmap. You ready? The ETH roadmap is ETH goes to 2K and sticks there. It's called the pin, right? So Bitcoin may rally and ETH is going to find itself in a really tight range, probably at 2K. You got about 6 to 7 more days of ETH underperforming Bitcoin or Bitcoin doing better than Ethereum. That was something I got right? This was going to be, I knew this was going to be all about Bitcoin when it took off for July. All right. Lord Junta is here. Welcome. Right? Welcome. Philip is here. How you doing? Omar from Down Under, Laughing Dolphin, recognizing some of these names. Welcome. Okay, PowerPoint, let's go. Okay, here comes PowerPoint. This is your market update. Bonds, ZB. What are they doing? Nothing. They're doing nothing. How exciting, right? In other words, bonds should be lower. The Treasury has no credibility, but they're not moving. Why? Well, big portfolio managers who have 60% of their money in stocks and 40% of their money in bonds have just been given the green light to start buying again, right? Because, you know, equity market is moving gradually up and bond market volatility is down. In other words, it's not crazy all over the place or shitting on itself. So it doesn't matter what they think. Their risk management models have beeped at the pension fund level and they're putting money to work. So, you know, interest rates will go up, bonds will go down, it'll stop, they'll go back up. You know, the pension funds will buy, and then as soon as they get done buying, bonds go back down, and bonds interest rates don't go anywhere. And what's better for crypto than stable interest rates? Nothing. Now, if bonds start to go down and rates start to go up, after everybody and the retail stock people buy the 2x Bitcoin ETF, okay, then the Bitcoin is going to go down and find a range. But that's not today's trade, right? Today's trade is probably 35K, you know, probably on Saturday. Some kind of like massive wick, God candle, crazy. I'll get to the chart in a second. Gold has got a 13 bottom. So everybody gave up on Bitcoin. Everybody gave up on alts. Everybody gave up on gold. And I think it's time to start looking at both gold and Bitcoin going up alternately, right? Bitcoin goes first, gold goes, etc. Okay, teacup and handle. So here's the Bitcoin 3-day chart. This is pretty much self-explanatory. You know, this is the teacup. I showed this to Toby. She doesn't know anything about charts. She basically looked at it and said, you can forget about getting it inside here anymore. That seemed pretty clear to me. 31.2 is resistance from a regression channel. So my guess is it may hit 31,200, take that out, consolidate, but this looks like off to the races. Maybe you get a top like within 3 days. I'm expecting tomorrow to be pretty stupid. Okay, but like, you know, buying it at 18K is not happening. I'm not even sure buying it at like 20K is happening. Because this is like a range reset, either 31 to 28, something like that. Okay. So from a tactical point of view, 2 days of FOMO, and then you reevaluate. But it's pretty clear they're going to reset the range, whatever that is, and then you're going to have a very choppy move. So if you're a trend trader, make money while you can, and then you got to turn yourself into a range trader because, you know, they'll be loving it at 36 and hating it at 28, and that may go on all summer long, right? Because there'll be this desire to own Bitcoin and then the Fed as the counterweight. And of course, you know, if the meme coins get stupid again, you will see Gensler, which is annoying. But, you know, Bitcoin range reset. That's the roadmap. Okay, so this was all over the hedge fund chat rooms. You know, my buddy Andy is all over this at the low. You know, I saw this, and then I saw the thing with the presidential candidate and the BlackRock ETF. I'm like, oh, shit. I was out sick. Forget about it. Gone. Okay, the upside of the channel is 35, and then most likely you're bouncing between 35 and 28, right? The range just resets itself, right? The last range was 20 to 31, and then 31 to 26, and then 26 to 35, 35 to 28, right? Just an orderly, methodical range trading environment after they do this reset, right? And then tomorrow will probably be completely idiotic. MicroStrategy on a 3-day chart. So if MicroStrategy closes above 326, it's on. It's going to break out of a diamond formation. It's already up a lot. If MicroStrategy breaks out, the whole market's going with it. That's the market update. You know what I'm saying? I always joke about the one chart market update. That's pretty much it, right? Whatever happens with this, but, you know, again, this may break out, but it's already up a lot, and it won't be trading on Saturday when Bitcoin does the craziness. Galaxy Digital, just wildly stuck. I mean, you know, these guys, you know, Web3, Gensler is not going to kill Web3. He's just going to move away from the altcoins that he hates, right? Novogratz has probably got more Bitcoin than God, right? Because if I knew this was going to moon all year, so did he. So with Galaxy above 475, hidden pivot analysis says 671. So if you missed the rally, man, some of these crypto equities, I mean, I know HUT went up 20%, but HUT's trading at 2. The high was 16. I mean, if you get dips, like this stuff is underpriced relative to what's happening. Now, I don't want you to get too stupid because remember, just remember, what's going on in crypto right now is a quarter-end phenomenon. People moving money out of equities, wanting to stay in technology. As Raoul Paul says, we're in the exponential age. So you have a parabolic in NVIDIA and equities, and then you have a parabolic up in crypto, or a mini parabolic, or an exponential rally, or up 60% in 10 days. You call it what you want, okay? But these crypto stocks are undervalued. Now, in contrast, that's NASDAQ 100. So just so you know how smart equity market retail is, I'm pretty much, they were short, triple leveraged right here in February, okay? And then, see it, okay? So they're probably going to come in on Tuesday and Wednesday and buy Bitcoin, and the top will be Friday, and then we'll start trading a new range, whatever that is. But in the meantime, it's just FOMO because, you know, like I said, this is a little bit too lofty. The Fed does not want it up here, and crypto technology is completely undervalued. Wait till you see the AGI. I wish I had plotted AGIX, decentralized AI, against NVIDIA. Okay, ETH on a 4-hour chart. So you got a DeMark 9 top, you got a correction, and now the rally is resuming. If ETH is above 1912, I got to think 2K is possible at some point over the next 5 days, right? I mean, there's going to be a catch-up rally in ETH. No one's going to kill Web3, right? ETH is not going to outperform Bitcoin at all because Bitcoin is like an unstoppable freight train if you look out 6 to 12 months, okay? But that doesn't mean ETH can't have its day in the sun, particularly with what this DeMark work looks like. Now, Bitcoin, Okay. See, did I change the chart? I didn't change the chart. Okay. So this chart is different. I'll show it to you in live TA. The point is there was the 13 top in Bitcoin on a 4-hour chart and no one cared. No one cared. Now, DeMark signals can work both ways. A 13 signal can be bullish or bearish. Okay. If it's a top signal and the market doesn't go down, well, guess what? The market defied the top signal, so it's bullish. I was talking to the GLDN webinar this morning. And I'm like, this is a 13 top here and it's not going lower. So guess what? 1 hour later, my producer's calling me up like, dude, it's up 4%. Okay, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I did get this right. 1 through 9 on the way down, first part of the trend, right? These are conditions like the low is lower than the low 4 days ago. So if it's true 9 days in a row, you get a 9. And then you get a counter trend rally. And then if the trend starts again, you get what's called countdown, which is 1 through 13. Right now, Ethereum versus Bitcoin is on an 8. So you could have 5 more days of lunacy in Bitcoin relative to altcoins before there's even remotely a chance that this stops. Crazy banana pants. What's going on here? Litecoin has upside to 95, right? All this stuff connected to Bitcoin. Solana, Toby's favorite, right? Hit 15, bounced to 17, really needs to try and do something. One of these coins is going to rebel against the government. I'm not sure if it's going to be Solana, but it might be. Okay, Pepe. Now, if Pepe gets above 1852, that's the 62% retracement of the wild move up. Okay, then that's how you know Pepe is headed back for the moon. And again, going back to this whole thing about the rebellion against the deep state, how about that vertical rally in Monero? Forget about it, right? Our CTO, Mind Your Biz, heavily into privacy coins. Okay, Avalanche. We've talked about this. This could be the one coin layer one, man. You got a 13 and a 9 bottom on a sequential DeMark work on a weekly chart. It's not a confirmed reversal yet. I don't know that I want to buy giant green candles in altcoins, but when Bitcoin gets done doing its thing in 4 or 5 days, there is going to be an altcoin catch-up rally that's going to be epic. First people are going to rotate out of the Gensler altcoins into Bitcoin. Then anybody who doesn't do that is probably going to or anybody who does that with Bitcoin at 36K will probably go back from Bitcoin into altcoins with a value proposition. So you could have some real stupidity on the upside in altcoins once Bitcoin defines the higher end of the range. Avalanche is pretty simple, right? It's kind of a double bottom. You had a double top and then you had a double bottom. It's like a gigantic range between 12 and 22. Now it may stay in that range, but that's a pretty big range if Avalanche wants to go back to the top. Now, XRP, meanwhile, back at the Ripple Ranch, XRP is showing a 5 on, this is a weekly chart, so that's mislabeled. So it's a 5 on a weekly chart. Now, normally you get a dip if it's 1 through 9 at the beginning of a trend. You normally get a dip on a 4, which is exactly what you got. That was the, oh my God trade, on Gensler these 2 weeks. And now XRP is stable. You could have 4 more up weeks in XRP easily. They win this case, XRP new high. Not right away. That's what people want, but that's not going to happen. XRP can start to trend higher towards a new high if the SEC loses the lawsuit. And you can see signs here that people are looking to buy the dip. Joseph Ryan made it. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, now AGIX. God, decentralized AI. Can't believe no one wants it. Right now, they got a 9 top. I'm really, really, really interested in this. If there's a dip next week, or if they get stupid in Bitcoin and then it all comes off, if someone's willing to buy the dip in AGIX, over the next week, that and Avalanche can be your winners. They can be your 2-coin market along with XRP. Make it a 3-coin market. Okay. And that is the market update. All right. Rudy says, I am the bulldozer. Oh yeah. Eurotrack wants me to cover BEN. Almost forgot. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about meme coins. Okay. So here's BEN. Okay. 76% retracements, 87.81. Whoops. Share screen. So in BEN, it's 87.81 at minimum, right? Your hope in BEN is that everything below 87.81 was liquidation and FUD. If it holds 87.81, it's okay. It isn't good. Okay, it isn't good until it gets above the 62% retracement level. Okay, which I guess the number that it's showing me is 1389. I'm sure the digits all change, but BEN has a ways to go, but this is not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not great. And what I've said about BEN is very consistent. It's got to be above the 62% retracement level. I took a lot of heat for this. You know, BitBoy was involved and then he wasn't. I think I would have liked it a lot better if he had stayed involved. Now let me redraw the whole thing with Pepe to make sure I got the right levels here. Okay, so this is Pepe versus ETH. Okay, so this is 1519. And that's 62% retracement of the entire move. So here is Pepe liquidating everybody the way BEN did in this zone. Right now it's coming out. So if we're going to fire up the speculating engine, Pepe is ready. Pepe's ready. Right. Philip wants me to look at Zcash. I'll try, even though I may cry. Okay. If you got all coins out there. Okay. So Zcash, Zcash actually made this massive new low. Have no idea why, really. Okay. And now Zcash is up 12%. I mean, what, excuse me, WTF, man, what was this? I mean, are you telling me nobody wants privacy? Nobody wants privacy. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but this presidential candidate that got kicked off a certain video channel, historically, his family was considered liberal and the left wing of the Liberal Party back a long time ago. Seriously, right? Now, the guy is considered a threat to society. Insane. Insane. Like, as soon as I saw, like, I know I said this already, and I'll probably say it again. As soon as I saw this, I knew this whole thing about Iron July and Let It Fly was going to happen early. I was like, oh no. And these privacy coins moving like this are just confirming what we already know. That if the world and governments are moving towards 1984, crypto is moving towards Bitcoin, privacy, Litecoin, AGIX. I mean, can you believe these equity market guys like, oh my God, AI is the future? Yeah, bro, it is. But you better have some decentralization or you're going to be living in a dystopia. So you want to go dystopia? That's why Zcash is up 12%. That's why it's up 12%, man. All right. I don't know. Like Rudy is asking about YOLO. I can put this up here. Okay. So that's not going in the right direction for now. Okay. Oh, Big Rich wants Bambi. So I know some guys who are into this. Okay. Now I love y'all, but y'all are scaring me with these meme coins. Y'all are scaring me. Jerome Powell is watching. Okay. So, you know, it is interesting with this meme coin that you seem to have, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's either dead or it's a triangular base. So I guess if Bambi was going to go up, it's going to go up soon because you're headed for the apex of this triangle by June 27th. This is a 4-hour chart. So I guess if we're all going to get stupid, which looks like we're going to do, we're going to go lampshade on our head, then this thing should break out on the 27th. Daniel J giving me some love. Kaspa out there. Okay, somebody's going to ask about KDA. Okay, KDA is right at resistance. Okay, I don't know that you want to buy green candle. I don't know that you want to buy gigantic green candles in certain altcoins unless you're buying green candles after a Bitcoin rally. So Kaspa, you know, this looks kind of like Bitcoin, right? So let me just put the symbol up here. Okay. No, it's, you know, this is taken out 0.026 and the high end of the range is 0.4. Oh, okay. Big Rich was going BAM, not looking at Bambi. Good. I mean, there are people into these meme coins. I just, oh my God, if we have another meme coin, maybe if we have another meme coin mania, okay, we'll probably have a very healthy mania. Probably have Bitcoin at 36K, but then when Powell steps up to the mic, he's just going to tap the mic and everyone's going to go running. But I'm not getting into that today. I'm not getting into that today. Okay, so DAG. Okay, so when you have these squat bars, these blue bars, it can mean you're like 2 or 3 days away from a top. You know, you've got the same thing going on in Bitcoin, I believe. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think they're just going to get wild. So here was your big blue candle. I don't know. You know, you don't necessarily have it in Bitcoin yet. I don't think, but you do have it in some of these altcoins. So, you know, you could be 2-3 days away from the top. I'm almost a little bit scared of what they can do. But if MicroStrategy doesn't break out, okay, so these are the candles in MicroStrategy that I had in the PowerPoint. As you can see, I'm not the only one who knows about the resistance point at 334. Okay, looking at the 89-minute chart of Bitcoin. Okay, you know, let's see, right. Okay, so on the 89-minute chart of Bitcoin, if you look at this regression analysis, that's probably FOMO froth. They may get one more day of this. Okay. You know, broadly speaking, it could go to 35. That's probably what's going to happen. They got a lot of time between now and quarter end. Now, one thing that you want to take notice of with this 89-minute chart, right? Obviously, there's resistance here. But if this thing goes down for 3 hours and then they start bringing it back, you know, that's where you have to be careful. And if not, well, this could be just some big emotional top. Maybe the range reset is, you know, 3150 to, you know, 30. Okay. They're going to reset the range, you know, you're going to have chop because you'll have, oh, I want to buy Bitcoin. And Jerome Powell says, naughty, don't do it. Right. You'll have that for a couple of months. And then the value proposition of Bitcoin, which is what everyone's chasing right now, will come to pass. Right. Much love from Spain. Philip, appreciate that. Okay. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all hitting the like button out there. Okay, do not have DeMark work for DAG. Okay, did I get DAG? Let me see. I know Rudy is a huge, yeah, I did this, right? Right, did this. So this is the 89-minute chart. Overbought here. Again, it looks just like this candle here, where, you know, you got people taking profits, and that's what's going to happen in small altcoins. Okay. All right. Now, let's summarize. Don't underestimate what they can do this weekend. Don't underestimate what they can do next week. I know everybody's bullish, but if equity market retail is going to come in on Tuesday and buy a 2x levered Bitcoin ETF and FOMO in, most likely the tactical top will be within 3 days of that. Right. Then you have to get ready for chop. So if you're a trend trader, make the money while you can. Right. And then you got to become a range trader. We'll find out what the range is. You know, you're not getting crypto most likely again in the low 20s unless Gensler loses his mind. So, you know, the bus has left in Bitcoin. The only question is, where's the bottom of the new range? And then there's going to be a disturbance in October in legacy, as we've talked about, but there will be a floor under crypto when that happens, right? So not investment advice, but, you know, low prices, maybe not anymore. But when you think about the floor under crypto in October, and then what's going to happen when the legacy chickens come home to roost, that's how you play it. That's the new roadmap. Richard Barry wants an encore for total. Okay, so this is total crypto market cap. Okay, so again, this is very much like Bitcoin. Okay. You know, it hasn't even gotten to the middle of the regression line yet. So, you know, technically speaking, total's got more work to do. It could go to 1.2 T. You know, eventually total could wind up at 1.4 T because total's been bouncing back and forth inside this regression channel, right? Like up, range. I mean, that just may be the way it is. Now, I mean, if you FOMO in, you know, you maybe FOMO in now, wait for it to break resistance, and then come back off again, right? And then look for a possible move up here. I just get this feeling that if you FOMO in at bad prices, right? I mean, I guess this states the obvious, but, you know, everybody who waits for confirmation on the breakout, and was you going to get wild over the weekend, right? And anybody who does that is possibly going to regret it, right? Okay, so Big Rich with the super chat, I think. Okay, check render, no problem. All right, Big Rich, appreciate that. Didn't see that. Thank you for the producer. Wrong again says total not topping. You know, I agree, it's not. Okay, so render. All right, so here's the reality. I think in this, I see Multicoin on their Twitter talking about this all the time. You know, short sellers were after this. If you use this regression work, it's probably going to 2.5. Okay, I guess it's time to start using your imagination about upside targets. You know, if this is in any way a metaverse or AI play, I am fully anticipating somebody after this Bitcoin run up going, gee, what about the metaverse? And what about that? And I'm like, yeah, bro, what about it? You know, I cannot get this to come up here. Okay. So for a super chat, weekly chart, you have resistance at 247. You have support on a moving average, right? At 202. It's obviously an uptrend. And this is obviously some type of bigger the base, the higher in the space phenomenon, right? Okay. Okay, now we got super chats pouring in. We definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you supporting the channel. Okay. This is the bigger the base, the higher in the space, right? So if you have a weekly chart, you have a 9 top, it comes off. If it breaks this support, the resistance at 247, then you may start a broader up move. Okay. This thing is either pinned in here or above 247, it's going to go. I would say the one, you know, I would say once Bitcoin is done running, then these things can go. Okay, Gala. Okay, same thing. Actually, this looks better. So you have a 9 top, it comes off, it tests prior resistance, and then they buy it. You could have 13 more up days in this, you know. I mean, that's pretty clear. And on the weekly chart, you have a 9 bottom. So I don't know, maybe the collective market update mind is finding Render and Gala, and I'll throw in AGIX and Avalanche, right? Okay. Richard Barry with the super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay. I'm sure Rudy is happy because I've been like, Gala, meh. But, you know, this is a 9 bottom and the market is reacting to it. So, you know, you gotta take that seriously. Okay. Again, Bitcoin outperforms Ethereum for 5 days. ETH alts catch up. Make sure you're long the right alt. Ditch the wrong alts, you know, as soon as you can. People are coming into Bitcoin. They're going to FOMO in. If MicroStrategy breaks out, you have 35K. It's pretty simple. If they get to 35K, the range is probably 35 to 28 for a choppy summer. And then whatever happens in the fall, crypto will endure. There will be stability and a floor under crypto. That's the market update. I will see you next week.